Everyone has a unique gift, and Mike, the creator of the One Life podcast, believes most people don't know how to use their gifts or what they are. Mike wants you to see things from a different perspective and be true to yourself. The One Life podcast, it inspires, motivates, and creates positive energy, love, and compassion to all communities. We only have one life to live. Be yourself and live your truth. Add the One Life podcast to your playlist. That's the number one, NE Life. Available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and your favorite podcast platform.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life Podcast. I am Mike M.S.C. Reed, and I am back with my boy Trent Washington from Holy Threads. Here we talk about positive psychology while taking care of your well-being and telling your story, because everybody has an amazing story, just like my man right here. He has an amazing story. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
How are you?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
For sure.
I'm just playing. Hey, so, this past weekend, we went to this event, which was pretty, to me, it was pretty historical for me just because of who was there. But, I mean, what did you think about that event?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, meeting the people that I met. I enjoyed the segment that they have where he kind of gave his life story and was, gave his background. And one thing I like about him, he's, very reserved. He's very slow to speak. He don't really, he doesn't have no arrogance about him,
right,
even in the position that he's in. And some people they get that to that height.
And it's crazy. It's like I was kind of telling you this at the event because everybody was like, "Oh, we got to get you back here," because he haven't did a speaking engagement in 20 years, which to me sounds even crazy. I was like, "Dang." And I kept hearing people say, yeah, you haven't, because he doesn't live out here no more. But he hasn't been out here. Well, he hasn't done anything in 20 years. But they assumed he hasn't been back out here in 20 years. It's like he's out here all the time. Yeah. He just doesn't do speaking engagement. Because he did that in the early on in his career. Yeah. And two, he doesn't really like to speak. I don't know if anybody caught on to that. But he even said that to somebody. I think it was to Linda afterwards. He was like, I really don't like to talk. Yeah. I don't like public speaking. He doesn't like. But he is good at it. But he doesn't like it. He definitely don't like it.
He hides it very well.
Yeah. But I think he said it, I forgot because Cindy caught on to it, where he said, I think he was talking to the girl that was going to interview him. He was like, just ask me questions. I don't want to tell a story. Just ask me a question and I can answer the questions. He's very good at that. Yeah. I think he's good at telling stories too because of his experience and whatnot. But he just prefers to answer questions.
Yeah, for sure. I understand it. Probably felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I mean, the one thing that my biggest takeaway from that is something that we're going to talk about here today, and that's time to talk. Wisdom across generations. I really believe that conversation, and we kind of spoke on this before, and I think that's why we're doing this episode, is that no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, there's still the same principles, there's still the same blueprint that still exists in life that you have to follow. And there's no way around it. Now, I get that things are done differently because of the generation, but it's still the same principles. Yeah. They still apply, no matter what. I think, you and I, we kind of teach our kids that today. Well, we're trying to teach our youth that today. But let me ask you this. What's one principle you live by that never gets old?
For me, I would say that would be focusing only on one day at a time. For me.
One day at a time.
That's one thing I'm grasping, and that's one thing I've definitely been practicing.
Okay. Okay. For me, it's always been listening. And I was taught that at a young age. Matter of fact, I was taught that at age 12. I remember the day that some of the older homies, was my sister's friends, pulled me to the side. I remember vividly. I was sitting in front of my house, on my brick wall in front of my house, is where all the neighborhood kids hung out. They always hung out in front of my house because of my sister, because they was all her friends. And I remember just being young and always in the middle of a conversation. kind of like some of the kids we know today. Just always in the mix,
Thought
right?
about a
You,
few.
like you just gotta be in the mix. You always gotta just be in the middle of it,
Yeah.
right? And so finally, one of the big homies, he pulled me to the side and he was like, Mike, come sit next to me. And I was like, what? Like I was trying to like do stuff. And I was like, what? And he was like, dude, just sit right here. He was like, pay attention. And I'm like, what am I looking at? He was like, you all in that conversation and you have no idea what the conversation is about. He said, take yourself out of the conversation and just listen. Listen to what's going on. And then you can jump into it. But he said, you're so quick to just be into the conversation, just jump into every little thing. And you don't even know what you're talking about. One, because you're young. Yeah. But two is you don't even know the conversation, what it's about.
Yeah.
You couldn't even sit here and tell me the conversation. From that day forward, like, I don't know. It was like, you know how something just clicks? When he told me that, it just really clicked.
Stuck with you.
It stuck with me forever.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always like been like, I never jump in the conversation. And people always like, Mike, you love to talk. Like, you always talking. It's like, yeah, but again, if you listen and pay attention to the things I'm talking about, there are things that I already know. It's kind of like my favorite Buddhist quote. It says, when you speak of something, things that you already know. But if you listen, you might learn something. Only time I speak is if I know that subject or what I'm talking about. You would never hear me talking about engine planes. I don't know nothing about engine planes. Yeah. You would never hear me jump into a conversation about engine planes or doing surgery on somebody or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get everybody has an opinion, but I'm not that type of person that would just jump in the conversation just because I have an opinion.
Same. Also, that kind of goes into kind of what happened today, where listening to yourself talk. You remember we had a situation earlier.
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, slow down and listen to what you're actually saying.
I love how you did that, too. You're like, but slow it down. Let's take it step by step. Then it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then when he did that, it was like, oh, like, you know, he caught himself and was like,
right.
okay.
But, you know, that's where, you know, again, kids nowadays, and I get it because I used to be like that. You want to fast talk your way out of something. So you kind of give like the speed version of what happened. But like how you came in, you was like, okay, let's slow this down. Let's take it step by step on what actually happened. And then once you slow it down, you can see where, okay, I see where I messed up.
Yeah, because most of their mindsets is, oh, it's not my fault.
Right.
So they anytime something happens, they automatically go like, hey,
right.
I didn't do anything. So it's like, okay, you say that, but when you tell the story, I'm hearing so many things that you did wrong in that situation.
Right.
So it's like, why don't you just, hey, okay, say this first sentence. Okay, I did such and such and such while she was doing such and such and such. And it's like, okay, so what did you do? Oh, well, I was talking while she was supposed to be teaching.
Right.
You did something wrong.
Yeah.
You wasn't supposed to be doing that.
Wasn't supposed to be doing it. But I mean, and I think that's the hardest thing right now is to get these kids, you know, this newer generation, to understand what we're saying. You know, like, because we've been there. Like, we keep telling them every day, we just constantly telling them, like, dude, we've been there. Like, every excuse you're bringing up, we don't say it. Like, it's saying something, like, they say it like they just invented.
Yeah, it's
all these excuses.
Nothing new under the sun.
These excuses have been passed on from generation to generation.
That is a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, we was talking after the event, and actually the next day because we was talking about the event, and you brought up a quote, and because we was talking to a kid, and what was it? I forgot the scenario that was in our room, and it made you think of this quote. But I loved the quote so much, I wrote it down, and I wanted you to talk about it.
Oh, well, the person that originally I heard it from was my old pastor's son. He's preaching at his church now. And he was just preaching on a segment of decisions.
Right.
You know? And he said, when you're born, you look like your parents. But when you die, you look like your decisions. And when he said that, I was kind of like, wow.
Right. Like that hits deep.
So true, you know?
It is. And it hits so deep. When you were born, you look like your parents. But when you die, you look like your decisions. That's kind of like, wow. I wonder if kids actually understand it. How old was you when you heard it?
Actually, I heard this maybe 3 years ago.
Okay, 3 years
It was
ago.
like 3 years ago.
Okay.
But when I heard it in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
You're right. You know?
It does make you think. That's crazy. And I think we was talking about decisions that day.
I think so too.
We was talking about decisions, and because honestly, every day I'm constantly telling them, well, that's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't go back and forth with people, especially kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to give you choices.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to pick your choice and have your decision, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I know that, and you hear me tell them all the time, I actually expect them to make mistakes because that's the only way we do learn, right? Sure. So I expect kids to make a lot of mistakes. I did so many community circles today, and I told them all, I expect you guys to make mistakes. But that's what we're here for, is to help you through those mistakes and help you see the mistakes so you don't make them again. But I do expect them to make mistakes every day. And I think that's what we're talking about. We're talking about decisions.
Yeah.
And being in, bad, I just stuttered. Just lost my train of thought. But being in the moment and for them to make their own decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, like just like you, I try my best to just give them options. Like when it's time to put up the ball to go to class, I'll say, hey, you got a decision right now to make. Either you give me the ball, go to class, and we can continue this later, or if you don't, it's over.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Now, another thing, and it's kind of like even at the event, right? Like Dwayne was talking to some guy, and you could tell he was a younger guy.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was kind of crazy. And I went up to Dwayne and asked him afterwards. I was like, "Hey, what was that dude talking about?" But I actually heard Dwayne tell him that he needed to do his research. Like, he has an opinion. Like I was just talking about, everybody has an opinion. But the guy was trying to sell Dwayne on something, and Dwayne was trying to explain it to him. And the guy didn't understand what Dwayne was saying. And Dwayne was like, well, yeah, because you didn't do your research. And most kids, this is where social media kind of comes into play and kind of destroyed the blueprint for the peak. Everything is so instant on social media. And people think they could just get on social media and become successful no matter what they do. And they skip the whole blueprint of everything. So they don't do research. They don't even know the product that they're selling. And that's the argument Dwayne was trying to make to the guys. Like, dude, you don't even, like,
know what you're trying to sell.
Yeah, you don't even know. Like, you don't even know the backbone to any of this or the backstory to any of it, which is crazy. So just to segue into foundations of principles, how did each generation learn from their core values? Like, for me, it was a family, faith, struggles, mentors. I think for me, like, I had mentors, again, at a young age. At 12 is when my sister's friends, I think those were my first mentors because they was teaching me at a young age. They knew I didn't belong in the streets. They knew I shouldn't have been running the streets. So they did everything they could to protect me and to always keep me out of trouble. So I think I had mentors at a young age and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they was mentors.
Yes. I would say for me, it was family and friends for sure, and coaches. Actually, my old AU coach, his name is Tim, and he was like a great mentor for me because he was the one, like, he would go out his way to come pick me up from the house. I probably didn't even have gas money to give him, and he'll come train me, take me home. We'll be out training, working out, whatever, till like nighttime, and then he'll bring me back with no problem, sometimes feed me. Like, that was one of those people that I would say that is like what will be a staple in my life for the rest of my life. And yeah, he was somebody I learned from. And I say family for sure. Like, family is because as you get older, that's where you learn like the do's and don'ts and like what you want in life and what you don't really want to be.
Right.
And you just kind of take your little bit here and you kind of mix it in with what you feel like will work best in certain situations. So yeah, I would say family is definitely that for me.
And I guess it's different from everybody, right? Because, like, for me, it wasn't family by far, which is crazy because I'm the baby of 7 kids.
Wow.
But I didn't have my mom because she passed away at a young age, and my dad was just never around. He wasn't around for me. He was there for my other brothers and sisters, which is a totally different story and crazy to me, but it is what it is. So I've been on my own since I was 14. So for me, it was more of the, like I said, the streets, the mentors, the struggles, right? Like, so at 14, I had to go out there and learn on my own, right? I had to learn how to be a man, how to learn how to survive on my own. So and I guess it was a gift and a curse at the same time, because I was young enough to go through a bunch of stuff and to figure it out, make all the mistakes, right? To where by the time I got, I want to say to my mid-20s, almost 30s, I already made a bunch of mistakes. So I kind of already knew, like, okay, don't do that, right? Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I just had to learn on my own. So it was more struggles and mentors for me.
And what's crazy, about that is, I had my parents.
Right.
I had my family together. But even with that, I even feel like, hey, I made a bunch of mistakes during a period of time to where it was like, now I'm like, okay, look, I know what that felt like when I was doing those things and making those decisions. I don't want to go back there, right. Because that place that you're in when you're making those decisions, sometimes it's like it feels so far-fetched to get out of those places, right. So it's crazy, though, because like some people will come from where I come from or the background that I do have and have like just natural success stories,
right.
And in a way it's like, hey, I still made buku mistakes, like, and it was just like kind of like a how can I say, like a trickle effect for
right.
a long time.
But let me ask you, did you have the type of parents that allowed you to make those mistakes because they knew, like, they only allowed you to like jump so far because they was always the safety net, so to speak?
Well, I would say early teens, yes, but once I got like grown,
figure it out.
It's like, hey, like, that's how my mom was. Like, you a grown man. You bump your head, you're gonna see how it feels, you're gonna have to go through that pain.
Right.
And then you're gonna have to figure out how to get yourself up out of it. I can't save you.
Right.
It's kind of where I get that when I tell the kids, like, hey, when you get older, it's gonna come a point in time where your mom can't save you.
Yeah.
Your dad can't save you. You're gonna have to figure it out. And if you put yourself in that position to where, God forbid, but you locked up or anything, you're gonna have to go through that yourself.
Right.
Like,
and so we actually have a student that kind of is growing up very similar to me, where he, like, I didn't have my dad. Like, my dad was alive, but he didn't care. For whatever reason, again, I'm a baby of 7 kids, and whatever reason, he just didn't care about me. Whatever. So we have a student like that we know of, right? So I know what he's going through. And it does hurt me that I can't reach him, but I also understand why I can't reach him yet. It's because he's not at a point where he's ready. And that's something I had to learn too. Because in hindsight now, when I look back at everything, I did have people that was like, hey, shouldn't do that. Hey. And I was just like, who are you? Why are you telling me this stuff? Don't care. I had the same attitude, right? So I get it, and that's why I don't stress too much about it. It like I said, it hurts because you don't want nobody to go through that, right? Yeah. Like, I don't want him to go through the same pain that I went through down the same road. Yeah. But I do understand that if you're not ready, you're not ready, and maybe that's what you need. Unfortunately,
yes.
I wish I was closer to him to where I can be there for when he does hit that brick wall or he does hit rock bottom, because he's going to need somebody that is.
Yeah. And it sucks watching that because even with you showing consistency every day, because of what he has going on at home, he doesn't know how to receive it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, hey, I'm telling him, hey, I care, I'm here for you. He's kind of like, I understand, I get what you're saying, but it's like, whatever, And it's not like he don't care in that moment, but at the same time, it's like he doesn't know how to cultivate that thought process to to grasp like what I'm telling him, and like the fact that I can actually come talk to this person, I can actually get my feelings out, because of initially a person that you feel like should care for you off rip doesn't, you just automatically label everybody else the same way, because it's like, hey, yeah, I may see you at school, you may show me this for the time being, but that's not a guarantee you might be here next year. But every time I go home, I'm dealing with the same person every single day that shows me the same emotions and feelings every single day.
Right.
What do you expect from me?
Right. So with that, are the same values that the younger generation interprets, are they differently than what like you and I know, but are they with the same intent?
I want to say they are, but how you mention social media,
right?
It kind of blurs the line.
It does
a whole lot, because most of the things, like when it comes to going through life, it requires a lot of patience and it takes time. So it's like a lot of build up throughout the years for you to grasp certain meanings, certain understandings, certain gratifications. But with social media, like you said, you don't see that. They don't see what it took to get to this point. They don't see the thought process, the grind, the emotions, the everything, the loss that you had to go through to actually reach this pinnacle that you're at right now. So I feel like it's kind of, the lines are blurred. But I do want to say that, it does have the same intent, but it's just, with social media and everything going on, it just kind of blurs the lines a lot.
It's like the timeless truth. Yeah. So a few days ago, and I kind of brought this up to you, I was watching a video from the Breakfast Club. It was BBD and New Edition. BBD, New Edition, and Boys to Men. And I think Ricky from BBD was asking Ralph Tresvant from New Edition, and for y'all young people, BBD came from New Edition. They're kind of one group, but they're separate. But Ricky was asking Ralph, the difference between R&B back then and R&B now, and where was it lost, right? And that was such a great interview. I actually listened to the whole thing because it's what we're talking about today. The time is truth, but it is what because Mike Bivin actually answered it, and Ralph kind of answered it, but then Mike Bivin gave a better explanation. It is social media. It's the instant gratification. It's because they forgot the blueprint. They thought that, social media, I can make me a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, grab a microphone and do a weird dance, and now I'm successful. Now I'm the R&B star. And it's like, no, that's not the blueprint. Go look at how Prince did it, how Michael Jackson did it, how, the Gap Band did it. Go look at all these successful older groups did it. Now follow that blueprint, and I guarantee you'll be successful. Yeah. But they don't look at the blueprint. Yeah. That's kind of how, like Dwayne was saying with the other guy, people don't do their research now. They just draw something, put it on social media, and think they're an artist.
And you get a couple of likes, and it's like,
you get a few likes, and social media told you you're famous. So that's why they call it TikTok famous, Instagram famous. It's like, no, but you're not world famous. Like,
that's a fact.
Social media famous only lasts so long. It's like it has the attention span of a kid. Because guess what? When they scrolling and they find the next thing, they just forgot about you.
On to the next.
It's on to the next.
And then you'll find yourself chasing what their what their attention is gravitated to now.
Right.
So like I agree. There's no substance. No substance. Like you said, you named the greats in R&B music, and the studying that they had to do. A lot of those people were, I guess you could say, understudies to like Bobby Brown. How he explained how when they was on tour with Rick James, he would watch his shows. And you kind of saw that when he got his chance, Bobby Brown was doing Bobby Brown, but he learned that from watching Rick James and watching these other people with the New Edition, the temptations, and they had the steps and how to be together. Like, yeah, they had to learn from somebody.
Even like take Kobe and Jordan.
Perfect example.
Kobe mimicked Michael Jordan. He studied every Jordan move, from the tongue to the shirt putting over the mouth when he's talking. Like every little thing he mastered because he studied every film tape of Jordan. He followed the blueprint.
He asked him questions when he got to play against him. Like you have to take those steps because he's 2.0 my MJ. So yeah.
No, literally, and you saw him talking to Jordan when they was at the free throw line and they bent it down. Kobe was like, "Hey man, how you do that?"
He was a student of the game.
Exactly. He didn't have an ego. Oh man, I'm better than you. I can beat you. Like how we hear that. What kid told us today?
Oh,
he could beat us.
I'm the best 6th grader. I can beat y'all. I'm like, dude, you got a long way.
I can beat everybody in the school.
I'm like, you have a long way to go,
dude. I'm old and you still can't beat me. I would just box you down every time.
Exactly.
Like, get out of here. But yeah, it's like, how about asking us questions?
Right.
Like today when we were doing the community circuit this morning. What I tell the one student? I said, he asked me a question, but it was the wrong question. I said, think about your questions. You focused on the wrong thing right now. And I gave him the answer. I said, this is what you should be asking me right now. But you're worried about the wrong thing.
And that seems to be like a lot of our like students. It's like they always worried about the next man.
Right.
It's like you don't even look in the mirror,
But again, I expect them to make mistakes.
For sure.
So that goes into the next thing that we was about to talk, mistakes and milestones. If you can talk to your younger self, what would you say to your younger self?
To my younger self,
mind you, you're still young.
I mean, yeah. But I'll say 10 years ago, my younger self, I was 18.
10 years ago, what would you say?
To my 18-year-old self, I would say eliminate the distractions, 100%. Eliminate the distractions. Again, take it one day at a time. And I would also say surrender your life and everything about you to the Lord. Plain blank period. Because, again, I saw when I decided to make those decisions on my own, where it took me, and it wasn't like I didn't have an opportunity to be successful in something.
Right.
It's just my mind was so cluttered with so many other distractions that I wasn't even able to think about, hey, maybe if this don't work out, I can do this. If this happens, where do I go from here? So now it's like, again, like I told you before, I'm forced to kind of sit and really think about that now. But on top of that, I have to provide, for a family at the same time. So I have more on my plate, and I'm trying to build myself up at the same time. So that's more of a difficult task versus when I was 18, I didn't really have any responsibilities. Right. I was kind of like, hey, kind of free. I had every opportunity to put my foot in here, put my foot in there, go here, go there. And I chose to fall into distractions. So, I'm sorry. I will also say, think about the people that support you, for sure, because there's always somebody supporting you. Just like I tell the kids, there's always somebody watching. There's always somebody supporting you.
Oh, 100%. So let me ask you this, because when people ask me that question, I always never know what to say. And that's because I can sit here and I can see all my mistakes, right? And I can say, yeah, I can see where I went wrong. This is what I could have done. I can see all that. However, all the mistakes I made and the experiences that I went through made me who I am today.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm proud of who I am today because I gone through all that and I still made it. I wasn't like how you were telling the kids today, don't be another statistic. I can't even say the word. Statistic. That's a word I can't say.
Yeah.
Okay, I got flaws, y'all. I got flaws. You know what I'm talking about.
It's all good.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Statistic. How you say the word, dude? You laughing at me, correct
I'll
me.
be stuttering too. So.
How do you say it?
Statistic.
Thank you. That word. Don't be one of those. There's certain words I can't say. I'm going to be honest. I got flaws. But, so yes, I mean, I honestly can't never answer that question because, yeah, I can sit here and again, I can name all my mistakes. I can see where I went wrong and what I could have done and what I should have done. But at the same time, when you go through adversity and you go through something, it feels much better. Mm-hmm. That's why I say I'm proud of who I've become because I went through all that. Like I wasn't just another statistic. I keep setting myself up.
Example.
Another example of how, someone from the hood failed, went to jail, died, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not. I made it through it.
Yeah.
So
I understand that. I can feel that.
Another question. Did I ever ask you this question?
No.
Okay, because it goes in line with what we're talking about right now. If you had a choice, what path would you choose? Path to your left or path to your right?
Is it based off what I'm seeing on the screen?
I can't give you no clues. If you had a choice, what path would you choose?
Probably choose the right.
The right? Why?
Yeah. I would say, I don't know. It just looked like, I'll be honest, it kind of looked like an easy path.
You going off the looks?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So I've been asking people this lately, right? Because everything that I do actually has a purpose. Mm-hmm. There's a rhyme and reason for everything I do. So when I designed that, it was a rhyme and a reason for it. I specifically chose those two paths.
So can you tell me the difference between those two?
So I'm going to tell you, Cindy, our lovely Cindy right here, chose the left. Because she said she doesn't want to see what's around that corner.
That's a good one.
Haley chose the one to the right. And I chose the one to the right.
Why is that?
Because that path is my story. See, it's your story.
It's your story.
And I'm going to create my own story.
Okay. Okay, I get it now. Okay, at first I was kind of like, huh?
It's like, what? But yeah. So yeah, so anyways, you always have choices, right? So we're kind of talking about that. Choices, mistakes, milestones.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a person who I want to create my own path. I've always been like that. And I think that's something that I learned by being on my own since I was 14. Like making all the mistakes I made, I came to the conclusion one day where I think I was like 18 or 19. I was like, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to create my own future. I want to do life my way. Because at the end of the day, if I do life my way, then it was my choice. I can't blame nobody else. Even if my life wasn't, because everybody's success looks differently, right? So even if my life doesn't equal to your success, I'm okay with it because it's not your success, it's my success. As long as I do it my way, then it's my success, and I'm okay with that because I did it my way. It's kind of like that Frank Sinatra song. I did it my way. Totally cool with how the outcome comes.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was going to ask you, like, what age was it where you actually figured out, which way did you want to go?
Yeah, all right, 18, 19.
18, 19, okay. Yeah, I would say for me, it would be about, 26 because the program that I told you about, one thing about that coach was he every day, actually, he would kind of mention, hey, what do you want to do outside of this? He would always ask me that. He was like, do you want to be working for somebody? Do you want to go into business for yourself? He would always ask that question, and that's when I finally started thinking, man, what is it that I really want to do? Which way do I really want to go? And then I started to think, hey, I don't really want to work for nobody.
Right.
I don't want to give 8 to 12 hours of my day to a job, spend that much time away from my family, and I could create something on my own, So yeah, that. It's crazy that you said that because I was wondering as you was talking, what age?
Oh yeah, it was 18, 19. But that's because I got introduced to this whole nother world. I grew up in Inglewood, but I got introduced to the Hollywood scene at around 18, 19. So it's just totally different, right? So I was hanging around celebrities and people was like, oh, I want that. 100%. I want that. I just didn't know how to get it, but I knew I wanted it. But I eventually, made my connections, made my mistakes, and found my path, and ended up having it.
Okay, so who was that one initial person that helped you get started? Let me say that.
And that?
Yeah.
Oh, AMG.
Oh, okay.
Dude that made bitch better have my money.
Okay.
AMG. No, I grew up with AMG. Mm-hmm. So I grew up right across the street from him. So me, Dwayne, AMG, like we all grew up together. Wow. So yeah. Yeah. AMG, he the one that took me out of Inglewood, showed me Hollywood. He took me to the first studio. Wow. I was just like, oh, and he entered, because him, DJ Quick, High C, Second None, they all was a group back then. So when he took me with him that first day, Mac Quick, Mac Second to None, High C, and all them, I was like, yeah, this is where I belong. Yeah. I was like, this is where I belong.
Yeah. And like you could tell that you like grew up in that, because when we went to the event, it's like you knew how to read the room.
Yeah, I know how to read the room, and I know how to read people. Yeah, it's like, I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah,
like,
you knew the do's and don'ts the whole time, and I was watching. I'm like, okay.
But and I learned that kind of early because I call him G. He taught me that. Like he would take me into rooms with big celebrities. Like I knew Dr. Dre and them way back in the day. Wow. I knew Ice-T. Like I was sitting in the room with Ice-T. I sat in the room with Ice Cube. All of them. And he taught me, like, and before I even went into these rooms, he was like, hey, we about to go in here, so-and-so in there. Don't say nothing. Relax. Again, listen.
Listening, yeah.
Don't go in there, blah, 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 blah. Like, relax. Yeah. Just chill. And I always listen to him because, again, I already had that mindset from my other guys telling me, just listen. Don't go in and start talking. So whenever I go into a room now, I just listen and I just chill.
Yeah, and I would say for me, in different settings, that's easy for me to do because I'm like more so the person, like I kind of got to get comfortable and know you in order to show you me, most of the time. So yeah, I will. If I walk into a new situation, half the time I'm just reserved, quiet, observing.
So let's talk about bridging the gap.
Okay.
What can the older generation learn from the younger generation? And what can the younger generation learn from the older generation? Because I do think that there's a truth in both of those. Like, the younger generation definitely needs to listen to the older generation, right? Because there's discipline, patience, and persistence in that, right? But the older generations need to listen to the younger generations for innovation, adaptability. Was that a word? Adaptability and empathy. Like, right, we need to learn that from them, for the newer generation. So I believe, I think somebody said that in a record too. I forgot who said it. But we both need to listen to each other.
Yeah, for sure. So,
do you agree with that? I mean.
Yeah, I do. I think it's something that you can learn from younger or older. I always thought that, that's why I never try to cut anybody's opinion or thoughts. Like I would just let them say what they say, because it's like you never know what you get. And from the younger generation, I will say one thing that, like how we was talking about social media, and one thing I do take from people that are on social media is consistency.
Right.
In order for you to keep that following, you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And I'll also commend the younger generation on not being afraid to go after what they want. Like, you see that a lot. Like how you said, once you figured out where you want to go, you're there. And they're getting younger and younger and younger every time I see that. I'll say for the older generation, like I said, one of those things, patience, doing research, studies, but also having a mentor, like somebody that you can follow behind. Because I do see with the younger generation, it's like once they get it, it's like I don't need nobody to tell me anything.
Right.
Like, I make more money than you. And when they get to that point, they like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, I'm good.
They're literally, I don't know if I told you the story, a student the other day, right when we got back from Halloween. So of course he went trick-or-treating, got all this candy, came to school, and he was out of class. It was like, hey, get to class. He was like, I'm selling candy. And he put out a wad of cash. Man. And he was like, I don't need to go to class. I got money.
Yeah.
Just like, wow.
And that's, I would say, like, that's one thing I've noticed that's bad about this generation.
Right.
Is like, because you're so in everybody's face when you're on social media.
Right.
That when you do have it, you feel like, I don't have to listen to anybody because I got all these people listening to me. Right. And with me doing the things that I did to get to this point, why would I listen to you? Not knowing that there's a whole nother level of things that you're going to have to endure, even with the money that you have, that somebody else older than you have already experienced.
Right.
And sometimes more money.
Yeah. Because it's only so much candy you can sell.
Oh, for sure.
Because you didn't collect that much candy from Halloween.
For sure.
So I'm pretty sure even by now he's out. So what you gonna do now?
if he ain't ate it all.
Yeah, what are you gonna do now? But how do we keep these conversations going? How do we keep the conversations alive? Is it families, communities, culture? I think all three. I think they all work hand in hand. I think it's a balance. Mm-hmm. Like I think, and like you said, it's the consistency in having these conversations, mm-hmm. making these normalizing these conversations.
Yeah, exactly. Normalizing these conversations is like one of the main factors.
Yeah, because
even when it's so crazy that you said that, because now that I'm thinking, when we did the community circle, mm-hmm. it seems so, how can I say, like weird to those kids when you try to speak good into them.
Right.
But it's normal if you go the wrong route. And it's so crazy. It's like how we're doing our job, okay, you got to report to the office. Why are you snitching? Why are you saying? It's like, dude, you did something wrong. Right. These are the consequences. It's like it's so bad to like suffer those consequences after you made that wrong decision.
I literally had a kid come up to me the other day because there were some kids fighting. And I just happened to be in the office, and his friends was in there. Mm. And he was like, why you snitch on them? Why you snitch on my friends? First of all, I didn't snitch on your friends. Mm. Second of all, they got themselves in trouble.
Exactly.
Let's talk about accountability now. Like, take accountability for what you did. Like, I had nothing to do with that.
Exactly. And there's no accountability. Like I said, everybody's a victim.
Everybody's a victim.
So, yeah, I would definitely say normalizing those type of conversations. Right.
And that's why, like today, I started the new community circle, and I want to start doing that every morning. Even if 2 or 3 boys show up. Yeah. I mean, this morning we had 10, even if 2 or 3 show up. But I want it to be every morning, like how we have our morning huddles. I want to do it every morning, and I'm hoping that it just grows and it becomes normal.
Oh, me too. Because to add to that, I was just thinking about that, because how I said it's like so weird to them. Yeah. It's like it's so weird to the point that they're uncomfortable with truth.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like you tell the truth or you tell them the truth about themselves or even anything, is like, hey, like it makes them so uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. How we was talking, we had the student, you telling him you care about him, you're here for them. That makes them so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
But and it's so crazy when I see that. It's like, man, like you see how off we are as in the world in general, because they normalize, hey, I'm going to talk crazy to this female. Mm-hmm. She's still going to like me anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And some of those little girls, you see them, they like normalize, oh, that's how dudes are. That's how they talk to me anyway. And I'm still going to do what I do.
Right.
Or, I can disrespect this person and expect something from them at the same time. Like, it doesn't make sense. But that's so normal to them, and it's so crazy.
So, legacy and impact. What does leaving a legacy mean in today's world? Like for me, I actually do got great news, Ms. Hertz. I have great news. You didn't even know this, but I'm gonna share it right now. You didn't know this. Today, in a few minutes, when we end this show, I would have completed 150 episodes. So you are my 150 guest. Thank you very much, sir. But that's what leaving a legacy from me is. It's leaving these conversations. It's and it's crazy because when we was at that event and Dwayne was talking and just kind of for context, Dwayne is a huge shoe designer for Nike Air Jordan. He's retired now, but now he owns the biggest
Shoe designer school.
Yeah, but what is it?
HBCU.
HBCU in
Detroit.
Detroit. Thank you. You know more than me now.
I was paying attention.
You're paying attention. That's what's up. But yeah, in Detroit, that mainly focuses on design, which is huge. And at the end of his interview, they kind of asked him, like, what does his legacy look like? And he said, which when he was saying it, I was like, damn, that's kind of impossible, right? But he said he wants people to forget that he was a shoe designer and to remember him as someone who opened up the school and is teaching the next generation of designers. And I was just like, wow. Like, I had to think about that for a minute. Like, how do you erase, like, how you started from working at LA Gear to, as a temp, putting in shoe designs every day, right, in that suggestion box, and that's how you got hired. Like, how do you erase all that? You never went to college, but yet you ran. You wasn't just a shoe designer at Nike or Air Jordan. You ran Air Jordan. Literally ran Air Jordan. How do you erase that? Like, that's a legacy in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, then but I think what he was trying to say is it was his purpose to keep it going. Yeah. Like, it makes sense now that I think about it. It makes sense that, yeah, I did all that. I was a shoe designer, but then that ended. That had to end at some point. The legacy he's leaving now with the college, that's timeless. It has no ending.
It carries on.
It could carry on. Yeah, it could carry on.
And that's what I was thinking. What I got from that was that and the beginning stages, that was for him. Mm-hmm. You know, like, even though it was in the past, that was all for me.
Right.
You know, this is beyond me. What you're doing now is beyond him. Mm-hmm. Because when he died, that still goes on.
Right.
Everything that he did back then is done. We may talk about it, we may bring it up, but there's no bringing that back.
Right.
so
that's how it is for me, right? Like, I thought, and because, like I said, when he said that, I was like, I understood it, because I thought when I was in entertainment, when I was working on all those TV shows, that was my legacy. Oh, I made it big in entertainment. I did this, I did that. You know, I traveled. My name is in credits, whatever. I thought that was my legacy, right? Not knowing that paved the way for my real purpose of what I'm doing right now. Like, doing these shows, being a mentor, leaving an impact, right? So, like, even with my shows, like, it's digital. So when I started doing this, I was like, yeah, I want to create a conversation, normalizing conversations and leaving it for anyone from 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, that can just pull this up and listen to one of these 150 conversations and get a little piece out of it. Yeah. Like, I'm good with that. Yeah. Like, that's the legacy I want to live by.
Oh, for sure. Because you leaving something for somebody to feed off of,
right,
and build off of. So yeah, that's the important thing, for sure.
What does your legacy look like?
What is my legacy?
You're still living your legacy. You're still young.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm still young, but when I first see my legacy, of course, like how you just talked about, like making an impact, giving somebody something to build off of, like not just my family and my sons, but other people, but also as many people as I could lead to Christ.
Right.
100%. Making an impact, allowing people to see the Lord in me. That's my legacy.
And that's where your holy threads come in. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love that. And that's the timeless principles that we're talking about. Right? Mm-hmm. Like with Dwayne, it's, again, following the blueprint. How designers now, if they go back and research his story on how he did a design every day and dropped it in suggestion box. Consistency. Right? Mm-hmm. Persistence.
Discipline.
Mm-hmm. He did that every morning before he started work. So that means at night he was designing a different type of shoe every day.
Extra hours.
Putting in the work. Mm-hmm. And I always talk about that. You can sit here and pray to God all you want, but you still got to do the work. Like, no, pray to God, but put in the work. Mm-hmm. And he did that. That's what timeless principles is to me. You guys still gotta put in the work. You still gotta have that discipline, the patience, the persistence. Mm-hmm. You gotta listen. Youngsters. Anyways, that is 150 episodes. What is your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway.
Your biggest example of growth never stops. Like your biggest one, or I tell you what, not take that back. Let me ask you this: what's your one sentence wisdom?
My one sentence wisdom.
One sentence of wisdom. Well, you gave me one earlier.
I was about to say, I think I said it earlier. That one is major.
It is major.
That was major.
But do you have another one? This is your mic drop moment.
Mic drop.
It really says that right here. The mic drop.
Mic drop moment. What is my one sentence wisdom?
Okay, so example, like growth never stops, right? The only thing that changes in your perspective, right? Yeah, the only thing that changes in your perspective. This is one sentence wisdom. I know you gave one earlier, but yeah.
Yeah. Since you put me on the spot. I would say, yeah. I mean, basically, in order to change others, you got to be willing to change yourself. Mm-hmm. I would say that's one. Because, again, going back to what we talked about, most people want to make change, but don't want to be the change. Mm-hmm. You know, like they don't want to look in the mirror and say, hey, I need to fix this. Or they rather, look at somebody else and be like, hey, you're not doing this, not realizing you're doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Just like, let's go back to the kids real quick before we close. It's always, we got that one kid that don't like bullies. But if he really listens to himself and how he talks to kids and how he act around kids, he'll realize that he's a bully himself.
Yes. Even though, yeah, you're right. Even though his intentions
are good, but the way he's going about it is you're actually being a bully. You're actually being a bully yourself.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah. So yeah, cool. Anyways, that is it, y'all. 150 episodes in the books.
150.
And you know what? It's not easy to do 150.
Oh, I believe it.
It's not. It took me 3 years to do 150 episodes.
So kudos to you for that consistency.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's just consistency. It's loving what I do because I do love it. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't. I'll be honest with you. Like it really is just somebody is gonna relate to me. It's like before I started this, I used to just go on YouTube and listen to listen to a bunch of interviews, and like Denzel Washington, Kobe Bryant, those type of people, and I used to listen to what they used to say, and then I used to listen to like different interviews of Kobe Bryant and see how he was repeating. He was saying the same thing, but he was repeating himself. That made sense. Mm-hmm. Like I was catching on to the things that he was saying, but it's like he just kept saying it. Every interview he kept saying it a different way. Mm-hmm. But I was like, okay, I get what he's saying. And so I used to just practice that. Now it's like it's kind of like what Dwayne even said this during his interview. Like he doesn't look at other people's inspiration. Like he don't look at other designs. I don't know if you heard that part. And this is the one thing that I thought was crazy when he started working at Nike at Jordan. They used to send them to automobile manufacturer club. He used to travel to auto shows a lot, which had nothing to do with shoes. But he was like, but think about it. A shoe is just like a car. It has every part. Like if you turn a car, turn a shoe. So he would always focus on the curves and the lines. And that's how he designed shoes. He didn't look at other shoes. He looked at cars.
Wow.
Right. So for me, people always ask me, do I ever listen to podcasts? And I was like, no. I've never listened to someone's podcast. I've heard snippets of them, but I don't listen to other people's podcasts. Yeah. I get my inspirations from other things. I get my inspirations from people like you. Yeah. Like I watch you throughout school. And if I've never said it, you're amazing at what you do.
I appreciate it.
And that's why I'm grateful you're on my team.
I appreciate it.
100%. But anyways, we out of here. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys check out Holy Threads. Avoid Trent. He's going to be a regular here on the show. We're going to continue to have these type of conversations. I believe our next conversations is what principles do we live by? He didn't even know that. Look at he was like,
I'm ready for it. You already know I'm ready for it.
No, we're just going to continue these conversations. These are the conversations that we're going to continue to normalize, like we talked about, because we just need to, and especially as men, even as black men out here in AZ and out here in the world, we need to normalize the conversation because that's the only way we're going to make a true impact with these young generations. So thank you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we out of here, guys.